Hi, yes, I'm Mitra Sorrells. I am Senior Vice President of Content at Phocuswright, and we cover the global travel industry, and we have research that we produce, we have events that we produce, and then we have our Phocuswire news site.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Breaking Travel News today. We're here at ITB, one of the biggest trade shows. What are some of the key trends we're seeing for this year?
Oh my goodness, certainly I have to call out AI and agents and what we're seeing happen in that space. It's moving so fast. It's almost a bit overwhelming to try to keep up with, but there are incredible opportunities ahead, I think, for the travel industry as agents develop and become more mature, and we start to see opportunities, as I mentioned, related to digital ID and combining those two technologies to create a much more efficient, much more seamless travel experience.
Absolutely, and you talked about social media and storefronts as well.
Yes, yeah, for sure. That's an initiative that we saw in the last year from Expedia Group, and I think just it highlights a need for there to be able to link the content from social media and from content creators and influencers with an actual booking. So that is Expedia Group's solution, and I think there are others in development that will allow people to be able to just click through from what they're seeing on social media and plan their perfect trip.
And we're seeing a lot of different surprising trends from Gen Z in terms of hotels.
Yeah, so that's just some recent research that we've done in the U.S. We will certainly be exploring it in other markets, but there seems to be a sense that those who have stayed at both a hotel and a short-term rental rate the hotel a bit higher for the overall stay and the value for their stay. So it seems to indicate maybe that the older generations are not expressing that. They still seem to rate the short-term rentals a bit higher. So we'll be taking a closer look at that.
Absolutely. And finally, it seems a very positive atmosphere in general, despite world events.
Yes, it does, which is really a beautiful thing I think about the travel industry is people love to travel. I think people recognize that travel opens their minds and opens their eyes to other cultures, and nobody wants to give that up despite what may be going on around the world. And we have seen over the last many decades that even when there have been setbacks, there has been, certainly the pandemic is the biggest one to call out, travel comes back. People don't lose that desire. So I'm very hopeful and optimistic that despite what may be going on around the world, travel will remain resilient.
A very positive message to end on. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much for having me.